Hello and welcome to another PA Matches After Action Report. Just played a match with a random dwdi, I don't even know how you'd say that. It turned out to be a pretty decent match, so I am recording afterwards. Starting off with a fairly standard build, we've got 4 metal extractors, 1 power plant, bot factory. I immediately get my first fabricator to help out my commander, churn out some energy. I've personally found that to be a fairly decent, solid strategy. And then I get out a total of 5 fabricators, get the first one assisting the commander, then 3 building metal extractors, then 1 building an air factory, then bot factories. Then I produce 5 doxes and then queue up several hundred fabrication bots. I found this to be a decent strategy. Economy tends to stall if you just pump out nothing but fabricators. So 3 fabricators is a decent number of fabricators to start off building the metal extractors, and then I've got 5 doxes for early defense and raiding. I've been experimenting with different strategies. I have been sending all 5 out at once. However, I played against a member of Ballistic Logistics who's kept on sending in 1 dox at a time, and that really kept me on my toes, so I've been trying some different stuff, sending them off in small parties and leaving 1 behind. In this case, I send 2 sets of 2 doxes out and then leave 1 behind for defense. I've also been putting up a little bit more missile defense turrets, or the anti-air turrets. Those do a good job defending against lone doxes. So that's just a quick overview of my current opening build that I am constantly tweaking and changing up pretty much every match. As you can see, I've got my commander on a decently long build queue. Normally I have him on a longer build queue, but this time I went with something shorter. He stood idle for a bit, but it's not the end of the world. Long build queues are your friend. It allows you to not worry about that commander or those fabricators, and they just continue expanding and growing without the need to come back every so often. It allows you to focus more on offense and less on economy. It allows you to do both at the same time. Okay, so my opponent spawned on the opposite side of the map somewhere. Here we go. Okay, not quite opposite, but pretty far apart. He starts off doing fairly well. Interestingly, he uses land scouts and not fireflies. He does a nice job of sending them in, and what you'll see in a little bit is what he does is he sends them in and parks them just on the edge of my base, so he gets good intel, and I don't know that it's there unless I'm paying very specific attention. Okay, so here we go. I've scouted him, and I then send in my 2 doxes to do some early raiding. I've got these first pair that are going to go for some metal extractors, my other 2, which I sent this way. I continue to have them on waypoints around the far side of the planet in hopes of them getting some unprotected metal extractors on the back, because once these guys start shooting, my opponent's going to start putting up some defenses all along here. Okay, so now we got a decent overview of my build. Let's speed it up a little bit. Oh, got a bot stuck. Unfortunately, these lava planet plateaus or rock formations tend to have units get stuck. So here we go. He scouted me, and this is where here he is, my dox that I left behind comes in handy. I send him in, and he destroys that land scout. If my opponent had sent a Dox, it wouldn't have been here as quick, but he would have been able to do a little bit more damage. So it's a little bit of a trade-off. For this large of a planet, sending a Dox is generally not the greatest idea. So, got... Ooh, I totally missed this one. So I've got fabrication bots going around, expanding in groups of 2 and 3. You don't want to have 50 single fabrication bots running around expanding. You want to send them off in pairs because metal gets up faster that way. So here we go, going for a fairly early advanced. I've got a decently strong and expanding economy, so I feel that it's worth it. Man, this was a nice move. I totally didn't see these over here. Okay, so got these bots doing some raiding. Moved in and destroyed that, and then they fell back. I think they destroyed this one as well, so then I moved them back and then parked them over here by these metal extractors in case they sent any lone fabricators out. Unfortunately, they didn't. They run into the ants and are useless. Okay, so I got these, which I'm going to pull in and attack with here in a little bit. Here we go. Unfortunately, I didn't scout over here. This would have been a nice raid. Oh, we got another scout. That's a very nice move. So these come in, start destroying some metal extractors, keep them on the defensive. I've got my early expansion. I like to build a large number of vehicle factories closer towards their base, so I just send vehicles right in their face. Thankfully, because I've got these churning out bots, unfortunately the bots keep on getting stuck doing the tango in here for some reason. Because I had done that, I was able to ward off this early attack with these bots. And then, oh, here we go. And then at the same time, I've got these group of bots coming in here for some early raiding. Unfortunately, I let them be. It doesn't look like he's noticed. Oh, he's got some air fabricators. That's not really a good move. Oh, yep, and there goes the attack. Unfortunately, that Pelter does a good job taking him out. Okay, so air fabricators. Air fabricators use more energy than vehicle, ship, or bot fabricators. So generally, you only want to use air fabricators to initiate advanced air factories and to get to hard-to-reach metal spots on island planets and metal planets. They can be very, very nice to go snag some difficult to get to metal spots on metal planets. Okay, so continue with my expanding. My economy's hurting a little bit. So, oh, here we go. I've got advanced bots churning out energy and metal extractors. Something that I've been doing as of late is I'm having my advanced energy plants very spread out. You don't want to have the majority of your energy within nuke blast radius, because then all they need to do is send in one nuke, your energy is gone, and having no energy, it's really difficult to get back on your feet once you have no energy. So if you spread out your energy like what I'm doing, I've just built them in a nice loop going around the center of my base, then that keeps me from having to rebuild all of my energy should that happen. Okay, so he comes in with another raid over here, keeping me on my toes. Very nicely done. Unfortunately, though, he sends his attack. Ooh, two-pronged attack. Very nice. Nicely done. Unfortunately, though, my laser defense towers make very quick work. I probably could have destroyed that attack without using any of my units. Laser defense towers are just fantastic. The way to counter laser defense towers is with long-range units or air units. So bombers can do a great job of taking them out. What else? Pelter creeps, catapult creeps, shellers and stompers, the advanced artillery units for bots and vehicles. Those are also great. Stompers, the advanced bots, advanced assault bots, those used to be pretty good against defenses, but with the defensive towers increase in DPS, they're not quite as good. Okay, so here we go, kicking it up to orbital. Normally I start out with an advanced satellite, but that tends to take a while, so that can leave you with some wasted economy and whatnot. So this time I start out with just a basic satellite, and then I believe a Avenger orbital fighter, and then a solar array, and then an advanced radar satellite. And the other thing about the advanced radar satellite is they can suck up so much power. Okay, so we got a positive economy here. This is not good. You want to start using it if you have this much economy. I got some anti-nuke missiles going up. They're good to have. The nice anti-nuke missiles don't have a small radius. However, if you do what I did right here and get them forward towards your enemy, then the missile launches in this direction and passes over the anti-nuke missile launchers and get taken out. So he's got raiding force coming forward, which looks like I go in and intercept. He's doing some expanding. Ooh, here we go. This raid right here really sets him back. It really hurts. I really do a lot of damage with this one. I'm also go over here, see how I'm expanding and gaining lots of map control. Not as much as some of the top tier players, but still doing a pretty darn good job. And here we go with a big push forward, which, if I remember correctly, this one doesn't do much. Another downside to air fabricators like this, which I believe you're going to see here in a moment. Yep, here we go. So I bring in fighters, and now I've just got one fighter left, but boom, 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 now there's no fabricators, and they're just gone and nothing flat. So these attacking ants come in, do a decent bit of work. He's got that pelter, which does a lot of damage with that area of effect blast. Damage some of his turrets and take out a metal extractor. Not too much. But then we got another attack over here, another attack over here with my advanced bots. Advanced bots are, which he then counters with levelers. Ooh, and shellers. Advanced assault bots, the stompers, they are fantastic for raiding. I've been using them a bunch as of late. Oh, and there goes my radar, I believe. If you send a group of slammers in through the back of your opponent's base, they can cause lots of damage. Okay, then here we go. I pull back my units, so my levelers use their... Oh, nope, no levelers out at this point. But I pull back my units so my pelter and laser defense towers, and I believe, yeah, and my catapults do their maximum effect. There's no point in just charging forward at his units when I've got my defensive towers to really give me an advantage. So I get up a line of defensive pelter or catapults here, which really cause some problems for him because he brings these units in here and he just parks them there. And it's a decent group. It's got a sheller and some levelers, and if he had used them right, I would have been able to do a lot of damage. But unfortunately, he just lets them sit there, and my catapults pick them apart. So here we go. I got another group of slammers moving forward. He's building some defensive towers on the back, though. Good move. He really needs to come in and reclaim these metal spots that I've destroyed. Wonder if he hasn't noticed. Got these group of bots out here that I'd forgotten about. And let's see, what do we got going still? Ooh, man, he doesn't have radar. He really needed some radar coverage. Radar coverage improves the effectiveness of your pelters and levelers and shellers, since those can all shoot farther than they can see. Ooh, nice move. And if I hadn't, I was doing a bad job and I wasn't doing much scouting. I was just keeping up the pressure. But if I hadn't have happened to perform another attack to keep him on his toes, and I hadn't have seen this, this could have been a very different match. Those things do a lot of damage. Also, if he'd built one or two more laser defense towers and maybe put walls in front of those laser defense towers, he could have potentially destroyed this attacking force. So here we go. I got this group pushing in, and we missed an attack. I had it pushed in with slammers, which he destroyed, and attacking from two sides at once really keeps your opponent on their toes and does a lot of damage. They're having to send their army out and about, or they're having to build defensive towers all around their base. Attacking multiple sides, really. See, this is something that he shouldn't have been doing. I've got good catapult coverage, and a large portion of his army is gone by the time it gets within range. And then I've got my pelters that start doing their damage. I pull back my army, so my defensive structures destroy most of it. I probably could have had no units here, and it would have destroyed all of those units. So then, now that force is gone, I push forward. If your opponent attacks, most likely it means he doesn't have any more forces or not as many forces, so it's a great time to counterattack, which is something that I do the opposite of. I like to leave some of my forces behind. And here we go, I'm getting some multi-pronged attack. I got these slammers going in, this, and then scampers over here. And if we look over here, this is something that I totally missed until right about now when my advanced satellite went up. And this could have done a lot of damage had it come on through this back side. I do have catapults going up, so it would have been but I did notice it. See, here we go. I've noticed it, and I'm pulling a bunch of units to intercept, which negates it. However, over here, we see I've caught their commander alone, which sending in commanders against advanced units, advanced bots, levelers, it's not a good idea. The advanced units just chew through a commander's health really quickly. So, in hindsight, now that I've saw what he was doing, it was an almost one-sided match, but he did a good job keeping me on my toes. If he had expanded a little bit more and attacked from different sides instead of just kept on throwing his units up against my defensive towers, then he would have had a pretty good shot. Raiding. That's another thing that probably really hurt him, as I kept on coming through this backside, and I just took out all of these metal extractors in this area that he didn't rebuild, which really set back his economy. In Planetary Annihilation, you gotta defend all sides and never stop expanding. Good match. Hope y'all enjoyed.